Chapter 51 Meeting Mr. Ren. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Kai Chongqing took Yang He and the two people into the small conference room. Our office building is still under renovation, so it's a bit shabby. I hope you won't be offended. Director Kai, you're welcome. It's us who have caused you trouble. The two parties chatted for a while and then got into the topic. Kai Chongqing knew that they were attracted by the sake. He had anticipated this situation, but it had only been on the market for a month. He didn't expect that they would come to his door so quickly. Originally, it would take several months, and it might even take until the next year to find out about them. Order the wine business. Director Kai, we don't want to talk in circles anymore. We are here to acquire your company. Mr. Li from Yanghe Winery said directly. I can't make the decision on this. You have to ask our general manager, but he is not here during this time. He just went on a business trip yesterday. When Kai Chongqing heard this question, it was not too different from what he guessed. Well, that's really unlucky. After hearing this, Mr. Li and Gong Xiang looked at each other and said, then I don't know when I can come back, or if you can ask your general manager the questions we raised. I really don't know when I can come back. I can tell our Mr. Liu your purpose of coming. Then please tell me, we are very sincere. Soon, several people left the conference room, got on the electric car, and arrived at the door. The two people from Yanghe Winery walked out of the factory and got into their cars to leave. Kai Chongqing stood at the gate of the factory. After watching the other party leave, he took out his mobile phone and dialed Liu Sen's phone number, telling Liu Sen what happened today. At this time, Liu Sen was sitting in Yudazue's car, and had just been picked up by Yudazue to go to a very unique local restaurant for dinner. After answering the phone and listening to Kai Chongqing talk about what just happened, he also smiled. Director Kai, you also know the performance of our wine company. You will definitely not sell it. If they come again next time, you can just refuse. And even if I want to sell, how much sincerity will he have? 200, 100 million or 30 billion, I guess it would be good if he could provide 1 billion, which is just our monthly sales. Yudazue, who was also in the car, heard this and couldn't help blinking Yawazi. He just learned in the afternoon that Yidian Liquor, which was just established in February, could have such high sales. He would definitely not sell it. This is an absolute cash cow, and most of them are sold directly from the official website, all in cash. This company has only been established for a few months, and thinking about the agreement negotiated today, I believe it can quickly open up the market and make profits easily. Yudazue thought that cooperation must be strengthened, because through previous chats, he knew that Liu Sen's goal was similar to that of their Huapetal company, which was not to be listed on the market, but to continuously deepen research and development to improve the technical content, so that its products could gain technical advantages and occupy the market. The car quickly arrived at the entrance of the hotel, and several people entered the hotel together. After being led into a private room by Yudazue, the scene inside surprised Liu Sen and his party. It turned out that there was an old man sitting inside. This old man was very familiar to them. He was Mr. Ren, the founder and actual controller of Petals. When Mr. Ren saw the people coming in, he stood up and smiled at Liu Sen and others and nodded. Mr. Liu, this is Mr. Ren. Yudazue introduced to Liu Sr. Mr. Ren, I didn't expect to see you here. Liu Sen stepped forward and said sincerely to Mr. Ren that he admired Mr. Ren very much and was someone he learned from. This time he came to Huaban to discuss cooperation, and he also wanted to meet Mr. Ren, but if he proposed it directly, it would be very abrupt. I didn't expect to see him directly at the hotel. Mr. Liu, it's nice to meet you. Lao Yu told me that there is a very powerful person here, so I came here uninvited and wanted to meet you. Mr. Ren, I wanted to ask Mr. Yu before if I could introduce him, but I didn't expect it to be a surprise. And Mr. Ren, if you don't mind, just call me Asen. Then I'll ask you to call you Asen. No, it's called affectionate. Liu Sen then introduced Lu Ying and Yin Dan to Mr. Ren, and explained that Yin Dan would be the person in charge of the jointly established company in the future. Everyone sat down and started eating. Liu Sen took out the fine wine he had brought and placed it on the dining table. Mr. Ren, try this wine, I believe you will like it. Mr. Ren looked at the young man in front of him, who was full of confidence. He looked at the wine in front of him and found that it was indeed something he had never seen before. The design of the wine bottle is festive and gorgeous, and the name of the wine bottle is also very natural and beautiful. Mr. Ren, my junior Liu Sen would like to propose a toast to you. Liu Sen raised his glass as a signal and drank it down in one gulp. Mr. Ren also drank the wine in the glass very happily. He immediately felt the difference. The taste was very good. After drinking, he felt very calm. It made people feel detached. Even the anxiety about the company's development was relieved. Phew. Asen, your wine is very good. This wine is a new high-end wine that our company will launch soon. It is not yet on sale. Then Liu Sen introduced Chidian liquor industry to Mr. Ren and Udazue. Qingfeng wine and sake and noodle wine are already on the market. It also introduced new technologies and ideas used in this wine. It was also the first time that Mr. Ren and Udazue had heard of such brewing, which contained many new technologies. In their impression, there are only a few types of wine, and they are all just changing the soup but not the medicine, either extending the time or adjusting the blending ratio. It seems that every industry needs new technologies and breakthroughs, just like their pedals, constantly breaking through themselves and breaking through the inherent thinking. Just like many traditional stores have been banned by online stores, Taobao has developed rapidly, and finally a video store has come. In a few years, it will replace Taobao. In a few years, there is a certain possibility that traditional stores will become the mainstream consumption place again. Therefore, continuous innovation is necessary for enterprises to develop for a long time, otherwise they will eventually be eliminated. They were also amazed at the materials of the wine bottles. They didn't expect that such a powerful material would be used on the wine bottles in the end. During the banquet, Liu Sen expressed that he wanted to cooperate with pedals in many aspects in the later stage for common development, and he also proposed that he would continue to develop new materials, indicating that the company's strategy is to resolutely follow the route of technological innovation. Mr. Ren also admired Liu Sen's determination very much. The development of new materials is a bottomless pit with no bottom. No matter how much money is thrown into it, it may not be filled, and there may not be a usable one. The banquet time was very fast and the guests enjoyed themselves. Back at the hotel, Liu Sen thought about the conversation he had with Mr. Ren during the banquet. He became more determined about the positioning of his company, research and development, and benefiting the people. Chapter 52 Next Research Direction. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Yidian needs to strengthen cooperation with Huaban in some areas. After all, Huaban is already a leader in many areas. If it can be improved on this basis, it will have an absolute competitive advantage in the international market, and there will be no such concerns in the cooperation. Huaban is a private company and will not be interfered by external capital. There are too many potential companies in China that are controlled by capital and indirectly controlled by foreigners, and finally lose their potential. Liu Sen knows that he will come up with a lot of new materials and new technologies in the future, which must be firmly in his own hands or in the hands of Chinese people. Originally, Liu Sen thought that it would take a lot of time to discuss cooperation with Huaban. But he didn't expect it to be so smooth. It was so fast that the basic framework was almost set. The remaining details can be discussed slowly later. It is estimated that it will take only a few days, and this time can also allow Huaban to start looking for some basic companies that produce cover plates and other accessories. Liu Sen talked to Yin Dan about some cooperation matters and let her handle it with full authority. After all, the newly established company is also in charge of Yin Dan, and the technology used to produce cover plates and other accessory materials is controlled and authorized by the original Yidian Materials Company. This time, I leave Yin Dan here. I don't know how long it will take to meet again. It will probably take a week or two, although I am very reluctant. At night, the few people who are about to separate are very crazy. In the past, he has always been restrained, fearing that the other party will be hurt. This time, they finally let loose. Although it is a hotel, Liu Sen is not afraid of being secretly recorded by hidden cameras, because hidden cameras have nowhere to hide in front of him. Liu Sen scanned it when he checked in. His golden finger can guarantee that as long as he legally owns it, even if it is temporary, he can see all the points and properties, and of course he can find out if there are any cameras. After all, the hotel is also paid. During the few days of accommodation, he can check the properties, but he can't move the decimal point to change the properties. Early the next morning, Liu Sen woke up and pushed away the jade arms and slender thighs on him. After getting up and washing up, he looked at the two people who were still sleeping. He didn't wake them up. It should be because they exercised too much last night. Liu Sen picked up the phone beside the bed and walked to the balcony. He lay down on the chair and looked at the sun that had just risen. The morning sun poured on him. He closed his eyes and felt the tranquility in front of him, emptying his mind. After a while, he picked up the phone on the coffee table and wanted to see if there was any news. He pressed it several times, but there was no response. The screen was still black. It was out of power. I was too crazy last night and forgot to charge it. He had modified the battery of this mobile phone with the gold finger, which had been increased tenfold, but it had not been charged for a long time. Now it was out of power. He went back to the room to find the charging head, plugged it into the socket and prepared to charge. Suddenly, he thought that the capacity of the battery had been increased tenfold by him, so the charging time would also be increased tenfold. Liu Sen directly changed the capacity back to its original state and adjusted the capacity after charging. As for why the charging speed of the charger was not adjusted tenfold, Liu Sen could do it, but the battery and mobile phone were not adapted, which was prone to problems. It was really inconvenient. The mobile phone had to be charged, and the mobile phone could not be used while charging. I want to use it, but I am still restricted by the length of the charging cable, just like a picture he had seen before, which is divided into two parts. One part is a dog tied to a tree with a dog leash, and the other part is a person who is restricted to the socket by the charging cable because he wants to charge his mobile phone. How many of you are playing with your mobile phone while charging? Raise your hands. Although many mobile phones now have the function of wireless charging, it is not easy to use. The mobile phone still needs to be placed on the charging plate, and it is also unusable when it is picked up. Although there is long-distance wireless charging, the technology is not mature and is still in the laboratory. The charging is slow and the power conversion rate is low. If the technology can be mature, then the mobile phone will no longer have to worry about the low battery of the mobile phone, and it can be charged anytime and anywhere without being affected. Liu Sen sat on the sofa thinking about these problems, thinking about how much impact this technology would have if it appeared, including the new expansion applications that will appear later. After a while, Liu Sen stopped thinking, unplugged the mobile phone that was charging, pressed the power switch and turned on the mobile phone. Soon the mobile phone turned on, the power showed 18%, and Liu Sen directly increased the power tenfold with the gold finger. The power was directly full. I started searching for wireless charging products on the market and directly bought several mobile phones of different brands, all of which can be wirelessly charged. I looked again and found that the long-distance wireless charging ones were still concept phones, and they were not yet on sale on the market. I searched for patents in this area on the internet again, and Juhua Company had them. I called Yu Dazue directly and asked him for information in this regard. Mr. Yu, I would like to ask, does your company have technical applications for long-distance wireless charging? Our company does have research, but there are still big flaws. There are many test engineering machines inside, but it has reached a bottleneck and it is difficult to go on. Yu Dazue did not hide this aspect but truthfully stated the current difficulties, and then introduced the technology. There are many difficulties, including the impact of the mobile phone shell on this, and problems with algorithm pairing, and energy consumption is also a big problem. At present, many companies around the world have developed experimental wireless charging, but basically they have inaccurate positioning, excessive radiation, excessive power, instability, and high prices. Liu Sen thought about it and decided to get one to test it. Mr. Yu, I want an engineering machine and charging equipment. I will go back to test the impact of new glass materials on this aspect, which will also facilitate the development of the next generation of materials. No problem, you can go down and get it today. I will go through the gift process of the engineering machine in the morning. Yu Dazue did not refuse the important partner now. After hanging up the phone and thinking for a while, Liu Sen determined the development direction for the next period of time. The business and R&D of Edian wine industry have almost a certain foundation. In the later stage, it only needs to expand step by step and develop product categories. Liu Sen only needs to give relevant research directions and invest funds. Yijian wine industry has obtained sufficient funds to allow him to develop its high-tech industry. His next research goal is wireless charging technology. He picked up the phone and found Chao Lei's phone number and dialed it. The other party answered the call soon. "Hello, Mr. Liu." Chao Lei's voice was obviously respectful and grateful. He has been working for more than a month and completed the company's official website and shopping platform. He is very satisfied with his current job. Although it is not an IT company and is a little far from his initial expectations, the work is easy, the salary is good and it is close to home. It is really good to get such a high salary in this 13th tier city. The salary and bonus just paid 2 days ago are more than 20,000, which is definitely a high salary. Although his classmates stayed in big cities, his salary is definitely in the first echelon among everyone. At the beginning, many classmates felt sorry for him returning to his hometown and working in a newly established wine company. Many people advised him not to return to Rongcheng and stay in Jinling for development. P.S. I would like to thank all the readers of Shuaibi Yanzu. Move your fingers and give a 5-star rating and leave a comment. Thank you. Chapter 53 Wireless Technology. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Chao Lei, you have been working for more than a month. Are you used to the work? Liu Sen was very satisfied with Chao Lei. Mr. Liu, I am used to it. It is very good. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Chao Lei on the other end of the phone was sitting on the chair with his back straight. It is good to get used to it. This is all because you are capable and talented. You don't look down on me because this is a newly established small company. Mr. Liu, you are kidding. This is still a small company. I guess there are not many big companies. Chao Lei couldn't help but complain when he heard about the small company. He is an IT and he knows the company's online data. No matter how many big companies have worked for many years, they can't catch up with the small company mentioned by Mr. Liu, not to mention the company's performance in Rongcheng. It is also the best in Jinling. Chao Lei, I told you at the beginning to find more of your capable classmates. How about it? Are there any willing to come? Mr. Liu, I have communicated with them. They all want to work in IT-related industries. Although your salary is not low, the nature of the company determines the result. This is not a problem. I have registered a company specializing in software development before. The company's next goal is in this area. You can talk to them. The company is preparing to recruit people on a large scale. Okay, I will communicate with my classmates. Liu Sen hung up the phone. Before, Yijian had registered many companies under his name, including many industries. Before, it was for the future. He was also afraid that Yijian liquor would be registered by others after it became famous. There are too many such things. He doesn't want to experience such bad things, such as Mojin Hulatang and Moguan Regiamo. Putting down the phone, Liu Sen went into the bathroom and started to wash. After taking a shower, he took out the electric toothbrush he carried with him and used it. After brushing, he found that the electric toothbrush was out of power and the yellow light kept flashing. I found the charging base in the suitcase, plugged it in, and the moment I put the electric toothbrush on it, the charging light flashed. An idea suddenly came to Liu Sen's mind. Could this be wireless charging? Liu Sen lifted the toothbrush up easily, and it was 1 centimeter away from the base. The light indicating that it was charging was still on. After separating it a little more, the charging light went out. Approach, the light is on, separate, and the light goes out. After repeating it several times, Liu Sen finally squatted down and put his head close to observe. It was indeed separated. This thing turned out to be wireless charging, which was totally unexpected. Liu Sen has been using his electric toothbrush for several years, but he didn't realize that this one was infinitely charged. This is a bit low-key. How can a mobile phone have wireless charging? There are so many advertisements and bloggers promoting it, as if it has a lot of high-tech content. It turns out that this is a gimmick. At the beginning, I was wondering why the pedal phone didn't have infinite charging. Damn, how many fools are fruit phones and certain star phones trying to deceive. and the wireless charger is so expensive, but it's normal to be expensive. Isn't a thimble worth dozens of yuan? So is a mirror cloth. Is this what it means when a person is stupid and rich? Liu Sen thought about this and shook his head. It had nothing to do with him. It was all voluntary consumption. Looking at the wireless charger in front of him, Liu Sen directly checked the properties: electric toothbrush, wireless charging, level 1. This actually shows the level, but Liu Sen didn't think much about it. He directly adjusted level 1 to level 10, thinking about gaining knowledge, and then a stream of knowledge was transmitted in his mind, impacting his mind. This impact was obviously different from the past. The previous knowledge acquisition was like a stream, smooth and small, but this time it was like a river, surging. The mind kept impacting. Fortunately, Liu Sen's physique had improved tenfold before, otherwise he would definitely not be able to withstand this impact. Enduring the pain in his mind, he kept sorting out the received information, and it lasted for a while before stopping. Thinking back to the received information again, Liu Sen couldn't help but show a horrified expression. It was really incredible. It turns out that the current wireless charging is only the most primitive, and the current technology is at the bottom of the level, and should even be classified as level 0, because according to the information in my mind, level 1 should be able to complete wireless transmission within 10 kilometers at most. The subsequent levels are even more exponentially improved. This is simply the black technology among black technologies. Wireless charging cannot even explain its characteristics. It should be called wireless power transmission technology. The information in my mind can be said to be an explosive progress, which is incomparable to low-end wireless charging. This technology has no harm to the human body at all, and the various indicators in the information are far lower than the international and domestic technical requirements. It seems that this will be the cornerstone of Liu Sen's development in technology in the future. Around this wireless power transmission, another leap in technological revolution can occur. It must be gradual, and only level 1 can be launched. The subsequent levels 2 to 10 seem to be used internally indefinitely. And level 1 must also be graded, which can be 1.1, 1.2, 1.9, etc. The power transmission range is graded: 1 meter, 3 meters, 5 meters, 10 meters, etc. The research of this technology is estimated to be very time-consuming, and a large number of personnel must be recruited. The first level 1 in my mind is okay. With the research direction given by myself, it should be relatively easy to research it out, but the later ones are estimated to take a long time. Talents are hard to come by now. All recruited from schools are newcomers with little experience. It is really unrealistic to poach people from other companies. Edian Electronic Information Technology Company is still an empty shell. No matter how much you tell people, they will probably think you are a liar. It is useless to have a high salary. Liu Sen thought at this time that it seems that he still needs to take advantage of Huaban. After all, they have a lot of talents. Of course, when talking to Mr. Ren and Udazue, he can't say that he is taking advantage of them, but should say that he is helping them solve the personnel problem. Many of them are overage or eliminated now, and his company can completely accept them. The overage employees have rich experience in business, and even if they are eliminated, they will not be too bad. His company can afford to support them, and his own golden finger also determines that the more people, the better, and the more creative ideas, the better. As long as the employee's idea has a little possibility, it can be improved a lot through his golden finger, making the impossible possible, just like this low-end wireless charging, which will change so much after modification. Directly relying on this technology in the future can change the pattern of mankind. After a long time, the two women finally got up and washed up. After they came back from breakfast together, they were still a little depressed. Liu Sen accompanied them to rest for a while until noon. After dinner, Liu Sen took Lu Ing and Yin Dan to Huaban Company. P.S. I would like to thank all the handsome readers who are more handsome than Yanzu. Please move your fingers and give a 5-star praise and leave a comment. Thank you. Chapter 54 Talent Introduction. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Liu Sen went to Mr. Ren's office and communicated a lot, including his desire to deepen cooperation, especially in terms of talent. Mr. Ren, can you communicate with the retired people to come to my company to work? Liu Sen made suggestions and introduced some of the information of Yijian Electronic Information Technology Company, which received the personnel, and then added again. One thing that needs to be said is that you must go to Rongqing to work, and the salary and benefits can be the same as the original benefits or even higher. In fact, Liu Sen asked all the personnel to work in Rongqing, which was also a last resort. At present, he needs to concentrate the personnel to carry out unified technical research and development, and the personnel can communicate effectively together. When the company grows to the later stage, there will be no need to require all personnel to work in Rongqing. You can learn from Huaban and set up independent laboratories in various places across the country, where various talent universities gather, so that everyone can study on their own and report all research projects and progress in 1 month, 1 quarter, and 1 year. At that time, he can select and adjust the gold finger according to the projects received from various research groups, and then send the opinions and subsequent research directions to the project team. In this way, the company can quickly break through and apply various research projects. After hearing Liu Sen's cooperation on talents, Mr. Ren was very satisfied and was also happy that Yijian Company would accept their relevant personnel. After all, these people were also the heroes of Huaban Company. These people have contributed to Huaban Company, but their corporate philosophy has to eliminate these people. They need to survive and make breakthroughs, otherwise their company can't be so big, and can't become the leader in so many aspects of the industry. Asen, I'm very happy that you can accept our people. At the same time, I will let the company's human resources communicate with them well. Mr. Ren had a smile on his face, but soon restrained it and said solemnly to Liu Sr. Have you ever thought about the consequences of accepting a large number of our personnel? Hearing Mr. Ren's words, Liu Sen also nodded solemnly, indicating that he knew there must be disadvantages for Yijian Company to accept so many Huaban employees. There will be many people who will mark Yijian Company as Huaban, and even have the title of Zaya Huaban Company. It is very easy to cause suppression from foreign companies in the early stage. Mr. Ren pointed out all the problems he was worried about to Liu Sr. Liu Sen had thought about these, but he was not afraid at all. His company's main market is definitely domestic. If foreign countries can accept it, it will expand normally. If they do not accept it or suppress it, it will give up the foreign market. The company's technology is not afraid of suppression at all, and it is foreseeable that even if it has no connection with Huaban, it will definitely be suppressed by the lighthouse country in the later stage. After all, it will definitely be suppressed when it develops to a certain extent. Now if a company has not been suppressed by the lighthouse country, it is embarrassed to say that it is a high-tech company. As for the possible name of Little Petals, it may help the company increase its reputation and increase its talent attraction in the early stage. When the company's strength exceeds that of Huaban Company, this name will naturally no longer exist. After simply discussing a framework for cooperation, Liu Sen said goodbye, and accompanied by Udazue, he signed and received a set of wireless charging engineering test machines, leaving Huaban and returning to the hotel. Because they were about to separate, they communicated for a long time at night before resting. After sleeping until noon the next day, Liu Sen and Lu Ying hurriedly washed up, left the hotel and went to the airport. Yin Dan stayed in the hotel. She would continue to stay here to complete the registration and acquisition of the new material company, and would also connect with Huaban personnel introduction. After getting off the plane, Liu Sen and Lu Ying saw Lu running over and throwing herself into Liu Sen's arms, rubbing her little head against his chest again and again. Liu Sen lifted Lu's head and kissed her forehead. There are so many people, and you are not shy. I'm not afraid. She answered with her mouth, but her body was still very honest and looked around. She found that no one else was paying attention to her, so she breathed a sigh of relief and then stuck out her tongue at Liu Sr. Liu Sen looked at the cute and adorable Lu in front of him, and stretched out his hand to pinch her chubby little face with some pampering. Lu Ying stood aside and watched the two people playing with a smile. Lu stretched out his hand and slapped Liu Sen's hand that was pinching his face. Brother Sen, you always pinch my face and make my face round. Lu directly hugged Lu Ying's arm and shook it. Sister Ying, I miss you. I miss our happy fruit too. Lu Ying also hugged Lu hard. After talking and making a lot of noise, they arrived at the parking lot. Liu Sen opened the trunk and put the luggage away. Lu, where is your car? I didn't drive here, I took a taxi. Then get in the car. Liu Sen directly adjusted the car data 10 times, but of course the speed was not adjusted. He didn't want to accelerate directly to 1000 kilometers per hour, which would be crazy. If this was caught on camera, how many points would be deducted? He didn't want to speed, and he didn't want to go to the police station for tea. He returned home quickly, looking at the familiar home, and couldn't help but sigh that home was still comfortable and free, and opened the express package with a wireless charger for mobile phones that he had bought before. He said hello to Lu and Lu Ying and entered the studio. Now he wanted to see what the difference was between this and the electric toothbrush. After direct adjustment, I acquired knowledge and found that the two wireless chargers are basically the same, but the details are a little different. Liu Sen suddenly felt a toothache. This gimmick is good. How many people still think it is high-end, buy wireless chargers, and pretend everywhere? There are so many induction lights on the internet, which are also the application of this technology. They will light up without connecting to electricity and adsorption, and there are also adsorption remote control switches. I picked up the test engineering machine from Huawei again to upgrade and acquire knowledge, and found that there are still many differences. Combining the two, research and development will be easier. I believe that if there are enough people, results will definitely be produced in a month. The goal of the first generation of Liu Sen is 3 meters to 10 meters, so it is directly practical. Put down the things in my hands, walk out of the studio, and enter the study. I took a few books on electronics from the bookshelf and started to read. The things in my mind need to be better integrated by reading related things, and I can also know more clearly what can be achieved under the current academic theory and technology. Outside, Lu Ying and Lu had just packed all their luggage and sorted out their clothes. The two began to prepare dinner for today in the kitchen. Sister Ying, didn't Sister Dan come back with you? Lu finally asked the question she wanted to ask at the airport. Lu, I thought you could hold it in all the time. Lu Ying smiled and said to Lu. She has some things over there and hasn't come back yet. She will take care of the newly established company over there in the future. Ah, then we are going to separate. Lu was a little depressed, and her eyes began to moisten. We will separate sooner or later. It's impossible to stay together forever. Lu Ying put down the dishes she was washing, turned around and hugged Lu. We are not separated forever. She won't stay there for too long. Wait until the place is on the right track, and then find a reliable manager to look after it. Yeah. Lu nodded. She also knew that as Liu Sen's career got better and more companies were established, everyone would definitely get busier and busier. They have been together for more than 2 years, eating, living and working together. Their relationship is really very good. The plastic sisterhood on the internet is an insult to them. It was a bit sad to be separated for a while. She knew it would be like this when she took over Mulinson Milk Tea. She can still stay here now, mainly because the business scope of her milk tea shop is still in Rongcheng and Jinling. When it expands further, it will definitely run all over China. It won't be too late, because the business of the several branches open now is very good, and the quality is also well known. After the new year, they will definitely start to open stores in other cities on a large scale. Although she is reluctant to separate, she is willing to share some of the burden for Brother Senior. She wants to be with Brother Sen like Sister Ying, but she knows her own situation. He is not as careful as Sister Ying. Each of the 3 sisters has different abilities. After a while, the 2 of them sorted out their moods and concentrated on cooking. Chapter 55, Deception. You are listening at novelfold.audio. The night passed quickly. Liu Sen was constantly sorting out the knowledge in his mind, and the relevant professional books piled up. There were still not enough books on the relevant majors at home, and he needed to buy a lot of books from the internet or abroad. A personal library needs to be prepared, so that other knowledge learning will definitely require a lot of books in the future. The library can be placed together with his experimental research center. Only when all these are completed can the personnel received from Huaban be better arranged. Only when the accommodation, RD center, and learning place are ready can this related cooperation be used to recruit more scientific research talents. In the temporary office of Yijian Winery, Liu Sen and Deng Yaluan sat on the sofa in his office. The 2 of them were drinking tea, chatting, and playing games in their hands. After a game, Deng Yaluan threw down his mobile phone and asked, "Asen, just say what you have to say. You have been dragging me to chat and play games this morning." I am really busy. Now I am constantly expanding outside. Deng Yaluan looked at Liu Sen helplessly. He has been sitting here drinking 2 cups of tea, playing a game, and going to the toilet once. The company is very busy now, no matter which department, everyone is very motivated. The company is growing explosively, with a large number of new people entering and a large number of employees being promoted. Another important point is that the salary and bonus are indeed very high. After all, a newly established company has to expand its business to the whole country in a short period of time, and it is an industrial company, so you can imagine how much work it requires. The sales department headed by Deng Yaluan is the main force in the front line. Recently, many new people have been trained, and it is expected that they will be assigned according to the training situation in another week, and they will fly to all parts of the country at that time. Brother Aaron, I see that you are very tired now, so I just want to let you relax. Not tired at all. I come here to follow you, and I must do it well. I don't want to live up to your trust. Is that so? Then you see I will add more burdens to you, and you will be the general manager. Liu Sen instantly became energetic when he heard Deng Yaluan say that he was not tired. This is what you said, don't blame me. What, are you kidding? What are you doing? Deng Yaluan was a little surprised and thought it was a joke. I'll leave this to you. I have other things to do. The company's future product iterations and research will need me. Liu Sen's expression was very serious. I'm too busy with the problem. Deng Yaluan saw Liu Sen's expression and knew that he was serious. He couldn't help but press his temples with a headache. Brother Yaluan, I believe in your ability. This is it. I'll sell it to you. Deng Yaluan knew that he had fallen into a pit and couldn't climb out in a short time. Liu Sen couldn't help laughing when he heard Deng Yaluan's words. Who made you my brother? I will announce your appointment at the meeting in the afternoon. Okay, is there anything else? If not, I'll go out to work. No, by the way, I'll invite you and sister-in-law to my house for dinner this weekend. Got it. Deng Yaluan answered and left the office. Liu Sen looked at Deng Yaluan who was leaving, thought for a while, stood up and walked to the desk and sat down. Inger, pack up your things and call Jin Shuya over. Okay. Lu Ying responded, packed up, and then walked out of the office. A few minutes later, there was a knock on the door. Lu Ying opened the office and led Jin Shuya in. Shuya, sit down. I have something to tell you. Liu Sen pointed to the chair in front of the desk. Okay. Jin Shuya, wearing a decent office uniform, sat down in front of Liu Sen elegantly and dignifiedly. It's like this. Because the company is involved in many businesses and many companies, some of them are more complicated to handle, especially in terms of funds and management. So I plan to set up a group company. You are still responsible for the group's finances, and you will temporarily take charge of this side. When you find the right person, you will step down. Jin Shuya heard Liu Sen's arrangement, although it was a bit sudden, but she had expected it. After all, for so many companies, group management is more convenient, especially for the transfer of funds, but she didn't expect it to come so soon. No problem, after all, this is also a trust in my ability. Liu Sen saw Jin Shuya confidently agreed, revealing the aura of a strong woman, and her charm increased dramatically. Shuya, because we are planning to set up a group company, the company lacks talents. Now we need to reserve in advance. Do you know anyone to introduce? That the company is now too short of talents. The head of human resources was Yin Dan before, and now Yin Dan is responsible for the connection with Huaban Company and the preparation of the new company, and Lu Ying is also the administrative manager of Yidian wine industry. As long as the group is established, a comprehensive management department must be established. There is really a shortage of people, and as a group, there must be a team of lawyers. After all, his company will involve many industries and many patents in the later stage, which is even more indispensable. Liu Sen thought about it and felt really headache. He could only blame him for spreading the company's business too wide at once, involving many industries and developing rapidly. Without the experience of precipitation, many people's ability growth cannot keep up with the development of the company, and the talent reserve is not enough. but time waits for no one. Liu Sen does not want to wait. After all, now is the time for the world pattern to change. He wants to contribute to this change, whether for himself or for the country. If he had no ability, it would be fine. But if he had the ability to make this change develop in a direction that was beneficial to the country and the people, he would not only care about himself. Liu Sen has always believed that people are divided into groups and things are gathered in the same way. Jin Shuya, who has the temperament of a strong woman, is a senior talent, so there must be many capable people among her friends. I do know a few people who are very capable, but they all have jobs and are all in large companies. I just don't know if they are willing to come here, and if they all come here, they will occupy many important positions. Aren't you afraid that I will do something small? Jin Shuya said with a smile while looking at Liu Senior. In the workplace, we are afraid of factions and groups, which will affect the company's decision-making and development. Liu Sen smiled when he heard this. As long as you have the ability, I welcome it. Liu Sen is not afraid of these situations at all. First of all, his company is private, and he has absolute rights as a wholly owned holding company. Moreover, the most important thing about the company is the leading technology and patents, which are also firmly controlled by him. The company is just a shell, and it can start a new stove at any time. Then I'll contact them and see what they think. Jin Shuya said with a smile. Well, if you are willing, you can make an appointment and have a face-to-face interview. Liu Sen would give it a try. The people he found through Jin Shuya must be more familiar with him. This way, he knows everything about them and can use them with confidence. Even if no one is willing, it doesn't matter. He can find someone through a headhunting company. Liu Sen sent a message to the company's management group about a meeting at 2 p.m., requiring all managers to attend. In the afternoon meeting room, all the middle and senior management of the company arrived at the meeting room 10 minutes in advance, chatting with each other about the company's recent situation, with smiles on their faces. With a sound of footsteps, Liu Sen walked into the meeting room with Lu Ying. Chapter 56 Development. You are listening at novelfold.audio. In the conference room, Liu Sen looked at the middle and senior management personnel sitting around and said, "Today's meeting is mainly to announce some things." Lu Ying turned on the projection. Because of the recent rapid development of the company and the rapid expansion of the business of the affiliated companies, in order to better manage the company, after careful consideration, the company decided to appoint Deng Yaluan as the general manager of Yijian Wine Company and the sales manager. And wait until there is a suitable person to step down as the sales manager. Appoint Kai Chongqing as the deputy general manager of Yijian Wine Company and the director of Yijian Winery. Let's congratulate them. After speaking, Liu Sen took the lead in applauding. Although all the managers in the conference room were surprised by this sudden appointment, they still applauded. They all saw the abilities of Deng Yaluan and Kai Chongqing. For the research and development of new products of Yijian wine industry, I will give relevant research directions and opinions. The specific research and development will still depend on everyone's efforts in the future. And announced the expansion of technical R&D personnel, and also encouraged everyone to recommend talents internally to work in related sister companies. For example, if the recommendation is for financial personnel, administration, human resources, etc., the company will bear the transportation expenses, and once hired, the recommender will be given corresponding rewards based on the company's talent rating. Technical personnel will be rewarded 1,000 yuan, and senior technical personnel will be rewarded 2,000 yuan, research personnel will be rewarded more than 5,000 yuan, grassroots management will be rewarded 5,000 yuan, middle-level management will be rewarded 10,000 yuan, senior management will be rewarded 20,000 yuan, and top personnel will be rewarded 50,000 yuan. This reward plan was sent to all employees in the form of an email. After Liu Sen announced the matter, he left the meeting room and asked Deng Yaluan to start his inaugural speech. In the next period of time, Liu Sen worked hard to study wireless power transmission technology, took time to interview managers from other companies, and followed Uncle Jean to communicate with government officials about the establishment of the company's headquarters and research laboratories. This period of time is even busier than before. On the one hand, there are many things to do, and on the other hand, it is also related to the fact that Yin Dan and Lu Lu are not around. They are all busy with their own things now. after finishing their work during the day, they will contact Dan via video at night to learn about her work progress, and talk about work and life, deepen communication through video and relieve longing. After understanding the several companies that Dan proposed to acquire based on Udazue of Huaban, after some investigation and field visits, they finally decided to acquire a company called Qinghua Technology. On the one hand, the equipment is relatively complete, and on the other hand, it is also because this company has a relatively large piece of land, which is convenient for the company's expansion in the future. With the help of Huaban, the acquisition was completed smoothly, and the name was changed to Huai Technology. After that, the authorization of the first and second generation technologies of special glass was completed. Huaban also injected corresponding funds, and the production line is also being adjusted and expanded, and Lulu's Mulinson milk tea is also expanding the market in an orderly manner. The Jinling market has basically been covered, and a total of 26 stores have been opened. Mulinson's personnel training is also being carried out closely. Jinling will soon become a talent training base, and each store will have a store manager and a deputy store manager. Thank you for your choice, Mulinson. In a Mulinson milk tea shop in Jinling, accompanied by a pleasant voice, several elegant ladies walked out of the store with smiles on their faces. It is now 11 o'clock in the evening. Mulinson milk tea shop has just completed the last order of drinks and sent away the customers. There are 5 people in the milk tea shop. An older woman said to a young girl, "Xiao Qiu, your training time today is over. Report to the headquarters at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. I hope you can succeed." Manager Qi, I know. Thank you for your teaching during this period. I have learned a lot. The young girl called Xiao Qiu said to the older man, and then bowed to Manager Qi. Manager Qi helped Xiao Qiu up and hugged him hard. Come on. Yeah. The young girl's eyes were full of hope for the future. This kind of thing happened in all Mulinson milk tea shops. Most of these deputy store managers who were sent off came to Jinling from different cities to attend college. Once they completed all the training and assessments, they would be sent to other cities to select new stores. These people had been informed of this situation before entering Mulinson, and they were willing to return to their hometowns or big cities near their hometowns to open stores and become store managers. Mulinson's excellent quality and taste conquered almost all the people who came to the store, and the business went from being deserted to booming, and its reputation was also unique. These people saw hope, which was much more real and reliable than the internet celebrity products on the internet. They personally participated in all of this, and witnessed the daily revenue. Mulinson offers these people 2 models. One is direct operation, where the company pays and the store manager can get a 5% dividend. The second is that the store manager pays for all the money to open the store, the company provides the technical formula, and Mulinson takes 30% of the turnover. And each person can invest in opening up to 10 stores, so that Mulinson will definitely explode across the country after a period of time. Of course, for the quality of the company's brand, the company will open at least 1 direct flagship store in each city, and may open 4 to 5 direct flagship stores in large cities, such as Zhonghai, Shangjing, etc. This is the business model of Mulinson. Under the leadership of my brother-in-law and sister, Shiweiju took another path. It did not expand as fast as Mulinson, but took a steady and cautious path, because the cost of opening a store was relatively high. After the first store had been in operation for more than a month, the second store was opened, because the first store had already made a name for itself, and the second store recovered its costs faster, and then it started decorating the third store in Jinling directly. Instead of opening the 4th and 5th stores in Jinling at the same time, it went to Zhonghai and Shangjing to rent shops for decoration. The strategy was to make a name for itself locally, and then the speed of opening branches would be accelerated. In this way, multiple places could bloom at the same time, which was much faster than expanding in one city, occupying the market, and then going to the next city to repeat the previous path. This would lead to faster fission. Of course, such development would also easily break the capital chain, which my brother-in-law and sister knew, but they believed that the formula and taste of Shiweiju could quickly recover the investment. After a week of communication with the government, Liu Sen finally determined the location of the headquarters. It is an unfinished real estate project, with villas, commercial buildings and residences. It is a project that Rongqing just recovered some time ago, this place is a project of Mohun. It has no ability to develop it anymore. It has been suspended for more than half a year. At the subway entrance that is about to open, the basic framework of the house has been completed, but the exterior wall has not been completed, and the water and electricity have not been connected. After communication, it was directly transferred to Yijian Group, and Yijian Group took over all the debts of Mohun in Rongcheng. After more than half a month, Yijian Group has been established, and the various subsidiaries have completed the replacement of personnel. The several friends introduced by Jin Shuya are all very capable. The legal affairs department of the group, after the introduction of Huaban and the financial system, recruited a group of elites, and even found the lawless madman Zhang Sen as the legal advisor of Yijian Group. After Liu Sen got the new headquarters, he directly allocated a large sum of money and began to renovate the building. All the glass exterior walls of the building are made of special glass produced by Yijian Glass. This is done for one thing, safety. The villa area and residential buildings were also renovated at the same time. The unfinished part was renovated, but it was enough. There was another part that Liu Sen kept for use. He needed to use these new buildings for some experiments later, so that he could better promote his company. The talent cooperation with Huaban in the past half-month has been going on. A total of more than 200 talents involved in electronic information and other majors agreed to join Yijian to work in Rongcheng. In fact, Huaban has persuaded or eliminated far more than these people during this period, but many people are unwilling to work in a company with little reputation. And the work location is still a small city, a city that 95% of the people in the country have never heard of. People nearby will mistakenly think that it belongs to Jinling. More than 200 people have signed the contract and are waiting for the Rongcheng headquarters building and research laboratory to be completed before they will come. During this period, they all go home to rest with pay. Liu Sen has made great progress in the research of wireless charging technology. He believes that he can complete the research of the first generation and the first version in at most 1 month. Liu Sen took off his work clothes, took a shower, and left the workshop. Lu Ying, who was busy in the kitchen, saw Liu Sen coming and said immediately, "Brother Sen, I just received a message from Yi Zhongyu from the project engineering department. The first phase of our planned headquarters has been completed, the laboratory equipment has been installed, and all office supplies will arrive tomorrow. We can work normally the day after tomorrow at the latest." "Really? That's great. I'm waiting for his news." At this time, Liu Sen heard the best news recently. Everyone's need for the headquarters is too urgent. For such a large company, all the staff have no centralized workplace during this period. Those who can work remotely work at home or in hotels, and some are crowded in wineries and glass factories. Researchers have no way to work. The classmates recruited by Chao Lei are also crowded in his house. 5 big men sleep on one bed. I heard that the bed collapsed. Yesterday, I reported to Liu Sen that 2 more people will come in 2 days. It will be even more difficult to sleep like this. Inger, you send a group email tonight to inform everyone of this good news, and notify all the staff and researchers working in the group to attend the opening ribbon-cutting ceremony at 10:18 the day after tomorrow. Chapter 57 Researchers Arrive. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Also, arrange accommodation for those who need it according to the previous statistics, and inform them that we will provide them with all the daily necessities. The General Management Department will start working tomorrow and do a good job of reception, so that all brothers and sisters can feel the warmth of our big family. In the work group of Yijian Group, the information of the group headquarters was released, and it will open at 10:18 a.m. the day after tomorrow. Then there was a series of information: headquarters building.jpg, laboratory.jpg, exterior of residence.jpg, inside of room.jpg, toilet.jpg. Wow, is this where I will work in the future? It looks good, with beautiful scenery. Looking forward to it. Same as above. Lu Ying saw that everyone in the group was very active, so she sent 10 red envelopes in the group in a row. In a rental house in Shenzhen, a man said to the woman lying in his arms, "Qingqing, look, this is where I will work in the future. This is where I will stay. The environment is good, not worse than Huaban." Lu Teng was originally a technician of Huaban Company. He was one of the retired personnel and agreed to Yijian's recruitment. She and Qingqing have been dating for 3 or 4 years. They have a good relationship. Because her parents were sick, they spent a lot of money on treatment, but they died in the end. In order to treat the disease, she sold the house she had bought and lived in the dormitory provided by the company. After leaving the company, she lived with Qingqing. But, it's a small city after all. Is this company reliable? I haven't heard of it. The woman replied. She also checked the company that signed the contract with her boyfriend, called Yijian Electronic Information. She checked online and found that it was a small company that had just been established not long ago. She seriously suspected that it was a shell company, because she saw in the news that some companies used a shell company to poach people and then went bankrupt, and the original company did not have to pay money. It shouldn't be bad, otherwise Huaban company wouldn't have strongly recommended it. After all, they don't need to lie to us. The compensation for leaving the company is about the same as in previous years, and my salary at Yijian company is not less. Moreover, the new company has allocated 2-bedroom apartments according to my situation, and I am allowed to bring my family. Qingqing, come with me. This matter has been discussed many times during this period. This time, I was relieved when I saw the photos posted in the work group. His situation has been discussed with the leaders of Yijian company before. The company has specially adjusted the allocation of accommodation, allowing family members to bring their families, and will help solve the relatives' jobs. This also shows that the company values them and is very humane. This is also because Liu Sen's company involves many industries and expands rapidly, which can provide a lot of jobs. There are many upstream and downstream companies that can provide a lot of jobs. The government also hopes that more people can enter Rongcheng, which is a net increase in population and can also drive economic development. And this wave of growth is still high-end talents, either doctors or graduate students, as a small city usually can't beg for them, so the government is also coordinating. This is just the first wave. If it is done well, the follow-up will be much easier. The government is also stepping up infrastructure construction, which can also provide a large number of jobs. And it is closer to your home, so it will be convenient to go back in the future. Lu Ting's parents have passed away. Where Qingqing is his home, and her parents' home is also his home. Well, you go first. I will quit my job here and come to you. The girl named Qingqing finally made up her mind to follow Liu Ting to Rongcheng. The most important thing is that she can't bear to part with their feelings and doesn't want to be separated. Such similar conversations have occurred in many families, all of whom are full of yearning for the new environment, and at the same time with some trepidation. One by one, they have booked air tickets or high-speed rail tickets online, and according to the instructions of the Yijian Comprehensive Management Department, they have sent all the relevant information to the company. The next day, Liu Ting got off the plane at more than 1 o'clock. As soon as he got out of the exit, he saw a banner erected not far away, which read, "Yijian Company welcomes you." Liu Ting walked over with his luggage, and several staff members immediately greeted him warmly. One of them was a supervisor. He asked for information and registered, and sent someone to help him pull his luggage to the waiting vehicle. On the way, after asking, Liu Ting learned that he was already the 8th batch. The company had counted everyone's itinerary information and divided it into many batches. He belonged to the 8th batch at the airport, and there was also someone to greet him at the high-speed rail station. There was only one more person in his batch, and it was expected to wait for another 10 minutes. There were already 5 or 6 people on the luxurious bus, only one of whom looked familiar, and the others were unfamiliar. After some communication, the familiar one worked at the Huaban headquarters like him, and the others were from other scientific research bases. They all just got off the plane, and the longest one only waited for about 20 minutes. Several people were chatting about some information about the new company. One of them actually knew something about the company. He was a drinker and had drunk tenfold liquor produced by Yijian Liquor. At first, he didn't associate it with his current company. It was only when he asked the receptionist because of the similar names that he found out that they all had the same boss, who was affiliated with Yijian Group. I don't know what the boss is like. This industry is a bit of a leap, but tenfold liquor is really good. I strongly recommend you to try it. This liquor is really popular now. I don't know if I'm a drinker or not. I just know that the company is really very generous. The salary is not low at all. You have to know that we are new employees. We are given similar salary and benefits after the pedal promotion. We can also take care of our family members. Regarding work, which company can do this? Yeah, I just don't know what will happen in the future. After all, the company won't support you if you don't have the ability. We all have abilities, but many of us are old and don't have enough energy. It's just that the abilities of our family members cannot be guaranteed. I've asked, and family members are recommended for jobs based on their original work experience. If they want to change industries or something, they will only provide interview opportunities. There is no guarantee whether they will be hired. I've made inquiries and found out that this group of family members are basically husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, or children. There are no elders. Then that elder definitely likes to run around. Several people kept chatting with each other about the information they had. After a few minutes, the last person got in the car. At this time, a receptionist came up and said, "The 8th batch has expired, and the car is about to leave for the company. The journey will take nearly an hour. Is there anyone who needs to use the toilet? If not, we will set off." After seeing that no one wanted to go to the toilet, he directly ordered the driver to drive, and then said, "There is some food and water in the car. If you need it, you can ask me or get it yourself. You can also put some food in your stomach. The company cafeteria is open all day today. There is food available. If you are hungry, you can come to the company to have a formal meal." After the receptionist finished speaking, he pointed to the food and water on the seat in front of him. Liu Ting saw it when he got on the bus and thought it was someone carrying it. Unexpectedly, the company prepared it for everyone, and the company also prepared dinner. The vehicle quickly arrived at the company's gate. After a few people got out of the car, 2 strong security guards in uniforms drove a 4-wheeled electric patrol car to let them get in. "Hello colleagues, I am the company's security guard. Now we will take you to your accommodation." Then he drove them to the place where they stayed. Liu Ting saw the security guard holding the handover slip he had just sent them, with their names and arranged addresses on it. Several people looked at the entire park. Just like the picture, the greening was very good, with green trees and flowers all the way. A few minutes later, they arrived at the door of a building, and then one of the security guards led Liu Ting and others into the building. When they entered the foyer of the building, they saw a table with a few people sitting behind it. One of them checked the handover form with the security guard and led him into the elevator with a bunch of keys. "Hello, I am the property manager of this building. My office is on the 1st floor. If you have any problems upstairs in the future, you can contact us, such as water and electricity replacement, maintenance, etc. We will help you solve it. The furniture in the room is complete, and electrical appliances such as refrigerators, air conditioners, and washing machines are also available. In addition, the company will subsidize 100 yuan per month for water and electricity expenses. You will have to pay for the excess by yourself. After all, many of them are families, and the company will not cover everything. Of course, if the things in the room are normal wear and tear, they can be repaired, but if they are damaged by humans, you will have to replace them yourself." The property manager gave a brief introduction, and then added, "But everyone should cherish it. After all, the house here will be owned by the employees as long as they have worked for the company for 15 years. This is what Yijian Company is like. For talents, each person will have a quota. They can want a house or not. Those who don't want it will be given in cash at a 20% discount based on the current house price." The few people who had just arrived were very satisfied when they heard these arrangements. The care was taken very carefully. After what they saw today, they were relieved from their worries. After receiving the keys to their own houses, everyone took photos. Those who were not usually in the habit of posting on WeChat Moments posted them on WeChat Moments for the first time. For a time, the reputation of Yijian Company began to spread little by little in the technology circle. This information became quite popular on the internet, and countless people were envious of it. A few people quickly went downstairs and took the patrol car to the canteen. They had a hearty meal. The food was very rich and there were many people. Many of them had just arrived today. While several people were eating, they also heard the loudspeaker in the canteen playing from time to time. Since it is the first day of operation, if you have any opinions, you can fill them in the opinion book at the door. We will listen patiently to your opinions. After the meal, several people saw the opinion book at the door of the canteen, which was already filled with everyone's notes. Many of the comments above are compliments, but only a few of them offer opinions, and these opinions are also very sincere. Your food isn't spicy enough, can you make it spicy? Waiting for opinions, it was around 10 o'clock in the evening, and Liu Sen was sitting in his new office listening to the reports of several people. All 216 people have arrived. The expected family members are 167. A total of 96 family members have actually arrived today. All accommodation arrangements have been made. We have already inquired. Those family members who did not come are dealing with follow-up matters, and some want to wait and see. However, at the end of today, everyone is satisfied, and it should be achieved gradually. Liu Sen nodded. Everyone is very satisfied with the canteen. There are only a few suggestions and adjustments will be completed tomorrow. Liu Sen is quite attentive to the canteen. He has been to Hua Petal's canteen and has found many great chefs through his connections. Tomorrow's opening ceremony is also fully prepared. Liu Sen nodded with satisfaction. Everyone has worked hard these 2 days. This is our key battle. Only by building a good reputation and improving treatment can we attract more and better talents. The bonus will be doubled at the end of this month. After the meeting, Liu Sen went home with Lu Ying and Yin Dan. Yin Dan is back. Huai Technology has completed the reconstruction and has started production. It is manufacturing according to the design requirements of Huaban. The deputy manager is a manager who has just been recruited. In recent times, Yin Dan is also in charge of the talent cooperation with Huaban Company. This time, the group headquarters was put into use, and Yin Dan also returned to Rongcheng. The long separation and lovesickness were all released at night, and the tide of longing was surging passion. Chapter 58 Wireless Charging Technology is initially completed. You are listening at novelfold.audio. The next day, Yidian Group opened and all the staff were present. At 10:18, Liu Sen and the municipal government leaders cut the ribbon together and entered the working state. After a brief speech, the scientific research team that Liu Sen valued the most finally entered the laboratory and took everyone around the laboratory. A large amount of new material glass is used in the laboratory, various colored and colorless, transparent and opaque glass. Such partitions are stronger than normal walls. Some special requirements will be processed with additional materials on the glass surface again. Liu Sen first gave everyone a report on the research related to wireless charging, and also explained the research objectives and requirements. All researchers showed incredible looks after seeing it. How can this be achieved? This is not a castle in the air. As far as I know, this technology still has great defects and has not been put into commercial use for so many years. So many companies have studied and have not completed it. Can we, a new company, complete the improvement? That the conference room suddenly became lively. Liu Sen saw that he began to demonstrate all the key research nodes, including the next research direction, and also showed the current research progress. Now everyone seemed to have seen the future, and they were incredibly excited. Soon, they started research work under the leadership of Liu Sr. This wireless charging power technology is the most important part of Liu Sen's development in the future, and it is also the foundation for the future development of Yidian, and the cornerstone of his leading the trend. He did not indulge in the long-awaited reunion with Yin Dan, and went out early and came back late, checking the progress of each group every day. The app software was also written according to his requirements, and the electronic hardware was constantly experimenting with the ideas of the previous day. The first test failed, the second test failed, the third test failed, the fourth test was unstable. Although the fourth test was unstable and far from success, this situation still made the entire laboratory excited, and the idea and direction were right. All the staff became more determined. It turned out that they just listened to the boss's instructions and worked. The ideas they put forward were very tempting, but no one was sure whether they could succeed. But now they see hope, and they hope that this achievement can be completed in their hands. Wireless charging technology, other companies also have it, but they are all stuck in a bottleneck and have almost no practical value. What they are doing now is to break through the practicality. The materials they choose are very cheap. Once the breakthrough is made, they can be widely used, work hard and work overtime. This overtime is spontaneous, and the lights in the laboratory are bright. The office building is also unusually bright. They have to keep track of the progress of the use of laboratory materials in time so that they can replenish them in time. Through connections, a medical support team was hired from Jinling Hospital at a high salary to ensure the health of all personnel. Fear of sudden illness during overtime at night. Liu Sen originally disagreed with overtime, but all researchers disagreed. They saw hope and burst out with new passion for life. They found youth and passion again. Originally, these people who were nearly middle-aged would not be able to struggle anymore, so they would retreat from the pedals. In this relatively unfamiliar environment, the company gave them all kinds of care, and coupled with the technological breakthroughs, they excitedly voluntarily started to work overtime. The cafeteria also became a 24-hour food supply because of these people. The experiment is still going on. Don't be afraid of failure. Another group, or even multiple groups, will do it together. Instability, progress to short-term stability, progress to long-term stability, short-distance stable charging progresses to long-distance stable charging, energy loss changes from 80% to 50%, 40%, 30%, and 20%. The 2196th test, wireless charging connection is successful, current is stable, distance is 3 meters, and energy loss is 2%. Start moving, 3.1 meters, stable duration for 1 minute, energy loss unchanged. Continue moving, 3.2 meters, stable duration for 1 minute, energy loss unchanged. Continue moving, 4 meters, stable duration for 1 minute, energy loss increased to 10%. Soon, the distance moved to 5 meters, and there was no problem with stability within 5 meters, but the energy loss increased to 20%. The connection was disconnected only when the distance increased to 10 meters, but the energy loss had increased to 90%. After the results came out, the laboratory burst into cheers again. The midterm goal of the first phase has been achieved, and the distance has reached 10 meters. The remaining goal is to reduce the energy loss caused by the increase in distance. Lu Pang and other colleagues hugged and patted each other on the shoulders. Liu Sen was also happy when he saw everyone happy. The progress of research results during this period showed that his initial idea was correct. He could provide the goals and research directions to a large number of RD personnel, which would greatly shorten the research time. Since his idea had been proven, he would recruit a large number of researchers from all industries to do basic research and material research in advance. This would keep up with the transformation of his multifaceted research results. For example, if the materials could lay a good foundation in advance, the first phase of research should have been completed by now. However, when this technology is completed and the scientific research strength is confirmed, it will be easier for him to recruit personnel since he is not short of money. He would say to those talents, "Come to the bowl quickly, time is still going on, and half a month has passed quickly." All aspects of wireless charging have achieved breakthroughs, materials have made new progress, and software and electronics have completed a new round of design. The software has also been compressed with the blessing of Liu Sen's golden finger, making the software small enough and the interface very simple. The packaging encryption has also been strengthened a lot. In Liu Sen's vision, this software is a great weapon for him in the future, and it must be perfect. After the new set is assembled, it will be tested again. 3333rd test, wireless charging connection successful, current stable, distance 5 meters, energy loss 0.1%. Start moving, distance 6 meters, charging stable, energy loss 2%. Distance 7 meters, charging stable, energy loss 5%. Distance 8 meters, charging stable, energy loss 10%. Distance 9 meters, charging stable, energy loss 15%. Distance 10 meters, charging stable, energy loss 20%. Distance 10.5 meters, charging stable, energy loss 35%. Distance 10.6 meters, charging disconnected. The researchers conducted obstacle tests again, and it was basically unaffected within 5 meters. Between 5 meters and 10 meters, the metal plate in the middle will cause an additional loss of 10%, and there is not much impact on other things. The electromagnetic interference effect was tested again, and there was no impact within 5 meters, and there was a slight impact between 5 meters and 10 meters. The charging loss increased slightly, the connection was not very stable, and there was a disconnection phenomenon, and through various indicators, it fully meets the requirements of the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology. Overall, the research goal has been achieved, and it can be fully used for civilian use, and it can be put on the market at a low cost. At present, it is a pity that the maximum wireless charging power can only be achieved at 30 W. The disadvantage is that only one-to-one wireless charging can be performed. For example, if 2 mobile phones are connected, one must be disconnected before the other mobile phone can be connected for wireless charging. Another point is that the worry-free charging app is essential for using wireless charging. The software is equivalent to an encryption software. It can only be unlocked and activated through the software to connect the transmitter and the receiver, and this software is specially processed by Liu Sen for packets, and no one except him can crack it. Liu Sen asked Qian Guoli, the head of RD, to write a report on this research and submit it to him, and let the entire RD department take a 3-day holiday. Back to the office, I looked at the company's recent report. Everything is normal. The new leaders and employees of various departments are working very well, and the entire company is running in an orderly manner. In the evening, in order to celebrate the achievements of this period, Liu Sen called the senior management to the villa next door and had a barbecue party. This can also strengthen the communication among the company's senior management. After all, he spent too much time on research during this period. After the cocktail party, Liu Sen did not sleep in the villa, but returned to his large flat home with Lu Ying and Yin Dan. There is a number 1 villa in the company that belongs to him, and all other employees still live in multi-story houses. There are nearly 100 villas that have not been allocated yet, and they will be allocated to employees only after they have made outstanding contributions. In his heart, the 998 large flat is his home. Lulu at home is still waiting for him to go back. Then he looked at the 2 girls beside him, and his heart was filled with warmth. Chapter 59 Optimizing Design Drawings. You are listening at novelfold.audio. In the morning, in the office of the president of Yijian Group, Liu Sen was looking at the company's recent marketing data, the most important of which was the sales of Yijian wine, which had greatly increased. Looking at the data analysis, he couldn't help but smile, not only looking at the increase in turnover, but also looking at the growth point. The data of various provinces and cities are rapidly increasing, and the daily sales are rising. These also show that the company's business development is benign and has very high potential in the later stage. He must pay attention to it. This is the money bag of the entire group, and the revenue accounts for 90% of the group. The daily operation of the group depends on it. Although I know that this proportion is not good, it is easy to break once there is a problem, but this is only temporary and will be adjusted soon. At present, all the profits of the glass factory are used to expand the factory and expand production capacity. The rest also supports the construction of the headquarters and provides so much architectural glass. It seems that the sales of the glass factory must be opened as soon as possible, mainly for police and military use, such as bulletproof glass, explosion-proof shields, ships, aircraft glass, etc. This requires an opportunity and a little patience. I believe they will take the initiative to come to the door. Huawei Technology is also actively cooperating with the manufacturer of the cover and back cover of the Huaban, and even the back can be used to make a lens. It will take some time to generate income. When the new Huaban mobile phone is launched, I believe other companies with needs will come to the door. The current wireless charging technology still needs to be optimized, industrial drawings optimized, miniaturized, and the appearance optimized. After all, beautiful things are irresistible. Their company is still lacking in this aspect, and it seems that they still have to find Huaban company to solve it. After all, their aesthetic design has always been good. Now this technology is the easiest to promote and the easiest to accept when applied to mobile phones. Liu Sen deeply knows that the people of the world have suffered from power shortages for a long time. What he fears most is that the phone will prompt, "Your phone will shut down in 30 seconds. President Liu, Minister Qian of the Technology RD Department wants to report to you." The secretary at the door knocked on the door and said, "Okay, let him in." Liu Sen responded and retracted his thoughts. "President, the technical information related to wireless charging has been sorted out. Do you see if there is anything to modify?" Qian Guoli handed over a document. He looked at Qian Guoli standing in front of him. He was still wearing the same clothes as yesterday, his hair was greasy, and his eyes were bloodshot, but he was still in good spirits. He was a little excited when he spoke. It seemed that he didn't sleep last night and sorted out the information directly. Old Qian, go back and rest quickly. If you don't rest for 3 days, don't come to work. You should also pay attention to your health at work. You should go for a physical examination later. After that, Liu Sen picked up the phone on the desk and called the secretary, Liu Xiu, come in and take Minister Qian to the health department for a physical examination, and then send Minister Qian back to rest. After hanging up the phone, he said to Qian Guoli, Old Qian, I have received the information. I will take a good look at it. You go with Liu Xiu to have a physical examination. Liu Sen took the document and looked at it for a while. He found that there were basically no problems. He notified the legal affairs department to let them register the patent. He was not afraid that other people would study the patent after seeing it. It would take many years for them to study it. By that time, I don't know how many generations their technology has been updated. Moreover, because of the patent, they can only use it secretly and cannot enter the market. The technology is too backward, and there is no threat to him at all. Liu Sen directly encrypted these electronic data for storage. He wrote a document again, which contains the relevant parameters of wireless charging, such as charging power, charging range, stability, energy consumption, and then encrypted it. He opened the email and sent the encrypted file to Udazue, and asked them to help with the aesthetic design. As a reward, their mobile phone will be selected as the first matching mobile phone. It is required to design a beautiful wireless charger. There is a chip in the charger and a display light. It needs to be plugged in for matching before use. When it is not matched, the red display light will flash continuously. When matching, the receiver, built-in mobile phone, or a separate plug-in receiver, needs to be close to the wireless charger within 1 meter. Log into the app to search, and the matching can be completed. The indicator light is no longer flashing, the red constant is not charging, and the green is charging. Designing a separate plug-in receiver is also to enable wireless charging for all mobile phones on the market. As long as there is this receiver, it can be infinitely charged as long as it is plugged into the charging port. This plug-in receiver is similar to the USB port of an infrared wireless mouse, allowing the pedals to be designed in a variety of mini styles without affecting the appearance. Of course, this plug-in receiver only has a Type-C interface. The interface of the fruit machine will not be designed and produced. After all, the charging port is unique to their company and is also a tool for them to collect money, such as charging heads, charging cables, expansion houses, card pins, lens cleaning cloths, etc. The mobile phone app company has completed it and sent it to Huaban so that they can build the program in or download it on the official website. The app functions include matching function, controlling the charging power, and can set automatic connection charging or manual connection. You can set the automatic start charging when the power is lower than a certain level, which can be set to 50%, 20% or 10%, etc., and the power will be automatically cut off when the power is fully charged. It will also display the current charging power conversion rate, loss, number of daily charging, and each charging amount. A statistical table will be generated every day and every month. You can log in with your mobile phone. After authorization, you can see the charging information of all people in all WeChat or address books, and there will be a ranking list. However, this last login function will not appear for the time being and will wait for subsequent updates. You must act carefully and hide well. You will update when the time is right to complete his layout. After the email was sent, Liu Sen called Udazue. Mr. Yu, I just sent you an email. Please take a look. He didn't say much, just asked him to take a look at the email, and asked him to keep it confidential, and told him the password of the file, and then hung up the phone. Seeing that it was about 11 o'clock, he tidied up his desk, locked the computer, and walked out of the office. He walked a few steps to Lu Ying's office, and then called Yin Dan to have dinner together. Lu Ying is now the assistant to the president, managing the group's office, including the general management department and the human resources department. Yin Dan is the director of the operations center, managing finance and auditing. Liu Sen was concurrently in charge of the research and development department at this time, and there were also various ministers in charge under him, such as Qian Guoli, who was the director of the research and development department, and Lu Teng, who was the director of the R&D department. When everyone was called to eat together, they found it very lively after entering the cafeteria. There was a group of people surrounding a place, competing. If you want to eat spicy food, you still have to look at our Sichuan people. Come on, look at our Jiangxi people. Look at my Guizhou people, you are all trivial. Hunan is the best. That I saw a group of people surrounding a window for serving food. The chef who served food inside wore 2 or 3 layers of masks and used a spoon to serve 2 dishes to each person. Several people took the dishes and sat down at this window and started to compete, looking at the dishes in front of them. Liu Sen was sweating a little. Is this a dish? They are all peppers. The dishes on the plate were all red. Soon the few people finished eating, and they were all sweating a little. They all said they would compete next time. When did this canteen have such a food window? Liu Sen didn't seem to have this window in his memory. He had seen all the dishes on the first day the canteen opened, and he didn't remember any such popular dishes. This is a special window added on the second day. On the first day, someone proposed in the opinion book that the dishes were not spicy enough, so a special spicy window was added. Lu Ying paused and continued, and now this window is going to become our star window. There are 2 new special spicy dishes every day. Many people will try them. Although they are delicious, many people fail. The health department has been giving her feedback during this period. Lu Ying whispered in Liu Sen's ear. Liu Sen was speechless. He also liked spicy food, but it was a bit too much to go to the health department for medication, and he didn't change his ways despite repeated warnings. He had a friend who once didn't control his mouth, and then, it was unbearable to look back. I can only say one thing, warrior, you are awesome. Chapter 60 Mobile Phone Release. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Afternoon, in the president's office. Mr. Yu, I've seen everything. How can it be completed? Liu Sen received a call from Udazue. Let's not talk about this for now. What I want to ask is, are the data you gave me true? Really? I really conquered it for you. Yes. Okay, goodbye. Huh. Liu Sen's face was a little dark. What is this talking about? He was so unreasonable and hung up on me directly. On the other side, Udazue still didn't believe it. Many companies are researching wireless charging technology, but there are no particularly big breakthroughs. Either the distance is not good, or the energy conversion rate is too low, or the connection is very unstable. According to their engineers, it will take at least 5 years for the theory to be completed and then to be able to be used normally in commercial applications. This is still a smooth research. If it is not smooth, it is not known when it can be commercialized, or it may be directly stuck at the theoretical bottleneck. Moreover, the expected 5-year product does not meet the technical parameters sent to him by Liu Sr. After consulting the engineer with the printed materials, Udazue asked the company staff to evaluate the impact of this technology on the current society and the company's products. The conclusion is, it is immeasurable, because it may involve various industries. Of course, the premise is that this technology will make another breakthrough. According to the time and technical difficulty of today's society for technological upgrading, it is expected to take 10 years or more. Knowing the conclusion of the engineer, Udazue reported the matter to Mr. Ren. After the two communicated and discussed, they came to a conclusion together. It is very likely that it will not take that long, it may be as short as 3 or 5 years. This discussion result is beyond the expectations of the two and is reasonable. The reason is that Liu Sen, this kid, does not play by the rules. The outrageous glass material, the outrageous wine, and now this outrageous thing has come out. This is outrageous. What happened to Liu Sen cannot be explained by common sense. However, the two did not delve into it. The more outstanding Liu Sen's ability is, the more beneficial it will be to their country. Directly ordered to complete a series of designs such as Liu Sen's appearance as soon as possible, and modify the new mobile phone they are about to release. I believe that after using wireless charging technology, it will be very attractive to everyone, and after the discussion, a power bank design was added. The power bank can be charged wired or wirelessly, and can also be used as a power source to wirelessly charge mobile phones. The second-generation Bluetooth headset can also be wirelessly charged, so you don't have to worry about running out of power when wearing the headset. There are many applications, and Huaban has not expanded it further. For the 2 additional items, Liu Sen was contacted by phone to confirm that there is no problem. For other applications, Liu Sen did not agree. He does not want to be too high-profile now and attract the attention of various industries. Liu Sen knows the truth of digging deep holes and storing food slowly to become king. He wants to hide a little, so he directly pulls the flag of Huaban and lets them take the lead first. Anyway, they are used to being targeted. Of course, Liu Sen will give enough benefits, otherwise it is immoral to let people take the blame. After thinking for a long time, it is not good to grab the wool from one person. He is still relatively honest. It seems that he has to choose the next sheep carefully. It is better to take more than one. It was decided that we should choose carefully and pick a fatter and stronger one. Time flies. 3 days later, all the RD personnel returned to their posts. Liu Sen once again informed each team of the goals and directions for the next stage. Because of the success last time, everyone was more motivated this time. The energy invested could see the results in a limited time. This is the biggest motivation for all scientific researchers. A few days later, Liu Sen received the drawings and renderings designed by Huaban, which were very beautiful. There are many design schemes in the document, some of which are conventional styles, and some of which design the charger as a night light. The appearance made of new glass is very cool. Liu Sen did not choose, and directly replied that all styles should be produced. All the production of things was handed over to Huaban. After all, Yijian did not have a factory. Huaban was directly authorized to use the corresponding patent technology, and 20% of the sales revenue was charged for each set of wireless chargers produced and sold. A set of wireless chargers has different prices according to different shapes and functions. In early December, various news appeared on the internet. One of the popular posts was titled, "Shocking, Huaban mobile phone 5G officially returns." Click in to take a look. The poster. It is said that the new mobile phone of Huaban is 5G and has conquered the signal baseband technology. Netizen, is it true or not? I got the information from the big guy. The poster. This news was told to me by the son and grandson of the wife of the friend of my cousin's father's sister. All kinds of news are flying around, and the heat continues to remain. The main reason is that the release time of Huaban mobile phone is coming soon. Now this information has traffic, and all bloggers, upmasters, and big verses have emerged. Anyway, there are all kinds of cattle and horses, and the time is up in the hustle and bustle. On December 14th, the new Huaban mobile phone was released, and 20 to 30 million people were waiting in the Huaban live broadcast room. Among these people are pollen and other people, such as competitors and trolls. Under the attention of everyone, Udazue walked onto the stage. "Hello everyone, I am Udazue. Today I bring you the 850 of the Huaban 8 series." There were various problems and difficulties in the development of 850, but we still overcame them one by one and met with you. First of all, the communication network that everyone is most concerned about is whether it supports 5G. I am here to tell you that it is a bit regrettable. Due to the blockade abroad, we cannot get the 5G signal baseband, so we can only support 4G, but our engineers have put in a lot of effort and created a new algorithm, Wi-Fi 6 plus router plus 4G. The network speed is not worse than 5G. Instantly, the water friends in the live broadcast room sent out dense barrages. Huaban is really not easy. Support. Support. Support +1, +10086. Support domestic products. At this time, a large number of identical subtitles appeared in the barrage. No matter how much you say, it's not 4G. No matter how much you say, it's not 4G. Udazue in the live broadcast didn't see these at all, but continued to say, "There is another point that needs to be emphasized here, which is the new material we used this time. The new mobile phone screen cover and back panel are also made of new materials. The entire mobile phone uses a glass shell without metal, and the glass shell is anti-slip and anti-fingerprint. This makes it lighter, thinner, and has less impact on the signal. The combination of the two directly allows the network speed to exceed 5G. Udazue introduced this and immediately pointed to the row of mobile phones in front of him, which are of different colors, gorgeous and beautiful. Is it beautiful? But don't just look at the appearance, the new material solves the problem that other materials have not solved so far, that is, it is fragile, easy to scratch, and expensive to repair after breaking. Our new material solves this problem perfectly. There will be no breakage in daily use, whether it is accidentally dropped from the desktop or pressed by humans. Therefore, the mobile phone will confess the film and mobile phone protective case. I solemnly promise here that if the screen cover and back panel of the 850 series mobile phone are broken, they will be replaced free of charge within 5 years. The live broadcast room barrage flew again. 666. Awesome. This is great. I finally don't need a phone case. I don't have to worry about it breaking. The bare phone feels better. Promises are useless. Just like insurance, you are the boss before you buy it, and he is the boss after you buy it. Everything is compensated before you buy insurance, but after you buy it, nothing is compensated. I'll tell you when I replace it. This is man-made and not within the scope of free replacement. A bunch of trolls. I know so well without trying it. Udazue, who was on the live screen, introduced some parameters of the phone, including the phone chip. Due to sanctions, our engineers have made innovations and breakthroughs on the other side after hard work. They use chip stacking technology to make the performance reach the top level in the current market. Then a comparison of technical indicators was made on the big screen. After the performance of the phone was fully introduced, he suddenly said excitedly, that is, the 850 series this time solves the problem of power anxiety. The battery capacity of this phone has not changed like the 840. The biggest change this time is that the phone supports both wired charging and wireless charging modes. Wireless charging is different from other brands of mobile phones. Our mobile phone can be wirelessly charged within a radius of 10 meters with the wireless charger as the center. Therefore, the mobile phone package we launched this time does not provide a wired charger. We will equip it with a wireless charger that supports 30W power. Then Udazue began to demonstrate wireless charging, opened the app, matched, charged, tested on the large stage, and announced that the various indicators of this wireless charging fully met the requirements of the country, and then projected the country's verification report on the big screen. Fuck, what did I see? Is this black technology? Did I travel through time? King Bomb. The king returns.